Today we're talking about function rules, tables, and graph. If we have to model the function rule using a table and a graph, if we're given the rule y equals 2x plus 3, first thing we have to do is our table. So we're going to create our table like this. We create our table, and right here in the middle we're going to write our rule, y equals 2x plus 3. Notice that I have y on my right side and x on my left side. I'm going to choose 3 numbers for x. Because I want my graph to be close to the origin, I'm going to choose -1, 0, and 1. What we're doing next is we're substituting for x. We're going to say 2 times -1 plus 3. 2 times -1 is -2. And -2 plus 3 is 1. Then for 0, we're going to substitute x with 0. 2 times 0 plus 3. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. Then we're substituting x with the number 1. 2 times 1 plus 3. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. If we take our x and our y value, we get our ordered pairs that we're using for our graph. The first ordered pair is going to be -1, 1. Then 0, 3, and then 1, 5. So we're going to start at our x-axis, y-axis, going to start graphing so that we can create our graph. So we're graphing -1, 1. Going to start at the origin, going to x -1, y 1. Now we're going to graph the second order pair, 0, 3. Start at our origin, x 0, and go to y 3. We're going to graph the last ordered pair, 1, 5. Again, we start with x. From our origin, we go to x 1. Now to y 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we connect our dots. Now we have modeled the function rule using both a table, this is the x and y table, and a graph. If we have to model this function rule with a graph and a table, we have to start by modeling it using a table. So we're going to create our x and y table like we did in the previous example. So we have y equals the absolute value of x plus 1. Because there are absolute values around the x, I already know that my graph will have a V shape. And it'll get that V shape right now. Because I know it has a V shape, I'm going to choose more numbers, also close to the origin. So I'm going to choose -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And we're going to substitute this into y equals the absolute value of x plus 1. So if we do the absolute value of -2 plus 1, that means 2 plus 1, which is 3. So we have our first ordered pair, right? Which is -2 and 3. If we substitute -1 for x, and we add 1, we've got 1 plus 1, which is 2. And we have our second ordered pair, -1, 2. If we have the absolute value of 0 plus 1, that means 0 plus 1, which is just equal to 1. So our ordered pair is 0, 1. If we have the absolute value of number 1 plus 1, the absolute value of a positive 1 is just the same positive 1 plus 1, which equals 2. Our next ordered pair is 1 and 2. We substitute 2 for x, so the absolute value of 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1, which is 3, and our last ordered pair is 2, 3. We've got our table. We can model our function using the table, and now to model the function using a graph, we have to plot each of these points. So we're going to plot -2, 3, -2, 3. Now we're plotting -1, 2, -1, 0 and 1, 1 and 2, and 2 and 3. Do you see how the graph has a V shape? Anytime it's an absolute value in the function around the x, the graph will be a V shape. If we have to model the function rule f of x equals x squared plus 1 using a table and using a graph, table of values and a graph, first of all I want you to see that this x has an exponent too. This is called a quadratic. With this exponent too, that means that the graph will be a U shape. So let's start with our table, and because this is a U shape, I recommend we use values like we did with the graph that was a V shape, the one with the absolute values. So we're going to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. We're substituting into f of x, which is equal to y, equals x squared plus 1. So if we substitute -2, this means -2 squared plus 1. -2 times -2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Our first ordered pair is -2 and 5. -1 squared plus 1. -1 squared is 1 plus 1 is 2. Ordered pair -1 and 2. We substitute 0 plus 1. 0 squared plus 1 is just 1. 0 and 1. If we substitute 1, 1 squared plus 1, 1 plus 1, which is 2, 1 and 2. If we substitute 2, 2 squared plus 1 is 4 plus 1, which is 5. We've got 2, 5. Now that we have our ordered pairs, we can graph them or plot them on the coordinate plane, -2 and 5. And we can see that our points form the U shape.